What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lily and Jenn's Spooky Den.
Hello, hello, welcome. um, Today we want to talk about our favorite haunted places that we want to visit. So we're just gonna go back and forth and name our top tier list of places we want to visit that are spooky haunted places, and then tell you just a little tiny snippet about them all. Um,
Yes.
so I, Lily, did you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go. Let's see.
Okay.
So, one of the first places that I had on my list that I really want to visit, first of all, I've never been out of the country except for Canada. And does, does Canada technically count because it's attached to the
Nah, that don't
US?
count.
Um, but I've been
Canada
through
don't
Canada.
count.
I would love to go more around like the UK and explore that. So that brings me to my first one would be the Tower of London, and that is in England. So it's one of the most haunted sites in the UK, and the tower is said to be haunted by Anne Boleyn. So segue, my like favorite kind of I don't know historical dynasty times was like the Civil War and the Tudors. So I
Oh
was
yeah, the
really
Tudors.
in love with like the Anne Boleyn story and Henry VIII and all of his wives and all of that. But
Mm-hmm.
Anne Boleyn's story like caught my attention the most. So I would love to visit there. It was also where she was executed, and visitors report lots of sightings of her and her ghost just kind of wandering the halls. And some people say that she's holding her head.
Oh jeez, that'd
I
be
know.
fun. That'd be fun to see a ghost holding in their own head, like nearly
Yeah.
headless Nick in Harry Potter. But yeah, the Tower of London's a good one. I forgot about the Tower of London. Damn, that is not on my list. Huh. Um. All right. So that's your first one. So
Yes.
my first one, which is technically number 10 on my list. I don't have really a specific order. I want to go to these so bad. Um, each pretty much equally. So they're not really in any order, but number 10 on my list is Farrar Elementary School in Iowa. Farrar Elementary School. It was built in 1921, opened in 1922, and serves students from the Farrar and Bondurant, Iowa areas, which it said it was not like in Farrar. It was said it was somewhere else, but I feel like Google is lying to me lately, and telling me that certain places are in certain areas that they're not. Um,
Mhm.
so it was built to consolidate five smaller rural schools and closed permanently in 2001, with students moved to a new facility in Bondurant. So basically, it's a really haunted elementary school, which is now owned by
Ooh.
Sam and Colby. So
Wait, they own it?
yeah, they own the Farrar Elementary School.
Shut
So
up. I didn't know they
yeah,
bought that.
yeah, and then they bought it I think beginning of last year, and then they've
Oh.
investigated a few times. In there, they did their Hell Week last year there, and then I recently watched Elton and his overnight channel. They went there recently. I think their latest video or one of their latest videos was at Farrar, and that was crazy because him and Matt Rife like investigated with Elton's wife and somebody else named
Mhm.
Jerry, which I find weird because I call the ghost that I work with named Jerry, so I thought that was very weird. Um,
Damn it,
but
Jerry.
yeah, Jerry. But yeah, I watched that and I was like, this is crazy because it was literally telling them to go under the stage. And so one of the guys went under the stage and he was like, turn around. Because Elton was in the Estes method when it happened. And he was saying all this stuff. And he was literally like turned around like okay. So they basically were talking to a spirit through the Estes method with Ellen, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyone watch that because it's insane. Um, but it was really good, and I really, really want to go. Really want to go. So
It's making
that's
me
my
want to go.
number. I know, right? That's my number 10 on my list. But yeah, yee.
All right. For my number two, um, this is a little hard to kind of place on my list, but I really think I would, I think this would be like the second choice that I would go to. Again, not in the country. Um, I'm really interested in the Okigara forest in Japan. Um,
Yes.
yes, it's
Oh my
known
god.
as the Suicide Forest,
Yeah.
and it's
I
based
just
at
got
like
chills.
the bottom of Mount Fuji, associated with lots of restless spirits, people hearing disembodied voices, shadow figures. Of course, there's like you can still find ropes in the trees from people, or maybe see not. I wouldn't say not actual bodies in the trees, but people have seen body apparitions hanging from the trees.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
oh, that's a good one. That's so sad. I think I've seen a couple of videos of people going into there, and
Yeah.
the, it's so it like creeped me out through the screen. I've never actually been there, and I
Yeah.
was literally creeped out through the screen. It
I
was
was
weird.
too, because I've seen a few videos. I was like, whoa, this is kind of
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah, that's a good choice too. You're picking good choices. What the hell? um, all right. Well, my next one is kind of, I don't want to say lame, but I've always wanted to go there and never made it. And my aunt and uncle live in, I have an aunt and uncle who live in San Francisco, so I don't know why I've never been here. But Alcatraz!
Alcatraz!
Um, I love Alcatraz. I want to go so badly. I've wanted to go my whole life. And I don't know, I've just really always been drawn to it, so I just really want to go. But it is a former federal prison in San Francisco Bay, known for its high security, minimum privilege design, and famous inmates like Al Capone. It was in operation from 1934 to 1963, closing due to high costs and deteriorating infrastructure. Today, Alcatraz is a popular historical landmark and tourist destination, operated as part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely another place that I would want to visit, but it didn't quite make it to my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, I've like wanted to go to Alcatraz my entire life. So I was like, it's
That would
just
be
it's
such
funny
a
to me that
investigation.
I know that I was thinking about that. I was like, that'd be crazy. And the fact that my aunt and uncle live so close to it, and I've never been over to visit them in California, which I
Oh,
probably should
really?
do. Yeah. Um,
See?
but yeah, that's one place I've really always wanted to go and never been. So yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love it. All
Mhm.
right. So this one may or may not be on your list.
Ooh.
I want to say, so my third, I would go to the Winchester Mystery House.
That's my
Mm,
number one.
yes, and that is in California, of course. So
Mhm.
we'll probably say a little tidbits that are either relatively close to the same or
Mhm.
no. But it was built by Sarah Winchester. And she created basically this maze of a house, kind of like a puzzle. I'm not even sure. Um, but she did it to confuse spirits that she believed were haunting her. And I'll let Jen explain why. So that way she has more things to talk about it. But people report like cold spots, moving shadows, unexplained footsteps, and possible demonic presences as well.
Yeah. I'll just say it now so that we don't have to do it later. But
Okay.
uh, so it was number one on my list, but it's in San Jose, California, and she was the widow to, oh my god, why can't I remember his name? He invented the Winchester rifles. Oh my god, I'm watching Supernatural right now, and all I can think of is John Winchester, and I don't think that's it. Like, that's the only name coming to my mind. Hold on one second.
Oh, that
Anyways, the guy who invented Winchester rifles, I don't remember him. His hold on, let me Google this real quick because it's funny. Um, hold on. Okay, so Oliver. Okay, sorry, I had to look that up because I was like, that would have driven me nuts. Um, so Sarah was the widow to Oliver, and Oliver started the Winchester Rifle Company, and like Lily had said, the spirits would communicate with Sarah Winchester because she believed that they were the spirits of the people who passed away from Oliver's rifles, everyone who was killed by a rifle. And she was being haunted by them, and they told her what to add to the house, but she could never stop building as long as she lived. So everything that she built was basically, was it to confuse the spirits, or was it to, hold on, there are like doorways that lead nowhere. Like, there's a doorway that leads outside with like a 20-foot drop, so you don't want to walk through there too quick. And then there's stairways that lead up to nothing, to the roof or the ceiling. It's crazy. And it's such a cool house. It's literally one of my favorite things on the planet, I think. So she began the construction in 1884 after her husband and infant daughter had died. The constant construction was meant to appease them or confuse them. So I don't think anyone knows the actual reason why she did it, because it could have been to confuse the spirits, or she was doing what the spirits told her
yeah.
to do, which is how I believe that it is, because she used to hold seances and everything in the witch, I think it's called the witch tower, part of the house. So is all basically to appease or confuse the spirits, and it's so cool. If anyone can look it up, the pictures, awesome. And I want to go so bad.
My fourth one on the list is the RMS Queen Mary Room B340, and that
Ooh.
is docked and it is in California. So
I
the ship itself, yeah. So the ship itself, and oh my God, I can't even speak. The ship itself is located in California, and room B340 is infamous just on its own. So many people have visited it, lots of YouTubers. Of course, guests have reported a bunch of crazy, violent paranormal activity, moving objects, knocks, and sudden temperature drops. I think it would be pretty interesting to go visit there. Of course, the ship itself is pretty cool. I've heard stories about the boiler room and everything on there too.
Yeah, in the pool area, I believe.
Oh
There's been
yeah.
somebody sighted in the pool area, children, or a child, but
Mhm.
I think it's children, multiple children. I can't remember, but that's a good one. I had that as an honorable mention. So,
Yeah.
all right, my number 4, or well, technically it's number 8, but 4 for the list. The Paris catacombs.
Yes.
Um, uh, so basically, the Paris catacombs are in Paris, France, and it's a network of underground tunnels, originally limestone quarries that now hold the remains of over 6 million people. They are temporarily closed for major renovations and are scheduled to reopen in spring 2026. Visitors can explore a small one-way circuit that leads through tunnels lined with bones, macabre and historically significant tourist destination. So they were originally limestone quarries. So basically, Paris was built out of limestone, and that's where they got the limestone from. And so it was basically just made these tunnels underground. But then there were what Paris cemeteries were being
Mhm.
overcrowded in the late 18th century, and it led to them just throwing the remains in the quarries. So it's literally from the 18th century, just abandoning bodies into the quarry, and then they literally had no idea, couldn't differentiate between bodies because there were so many, and now there's just bones everywhere, and it's so creepy, and I want to go so bad. um,
Yes. That'll bring me into my
and
number five because I also had that one on my list.
oh,
I
nice.
freaking love the Paris catacombs. Like,
Oh, me
I've
too.
never even been there. I mean, Paris, France was a destination that I've always wanted to go to if I left the country. Um, I mean, like the Eiffel Tower is pretty cool. I was
Yeah,
obsessed with it when I was a kid, but come on,
me
my
too. And
spooky
I
side, the
I
catacombs.
have I have been to Paris, but I have not gone to the catacombs because I went on a school trip in high school. So
Isn't that so crazy to think that they were just under your feet, though?
yeah, and I knew about the catacombs back then, and I was looking for the entrances and stuff like that as like we were driving around on the bus, and I couldn't see anything. I was just like, all right, whatever. And then obviously our not tour guide chaperones were like, no, we're not taking you into catacombs, and I was like, son of a
Like,
bitch.
why? Oh,
Uh,
I love it.
yeah.
Oh, all right. So another one, and I mean, we live fairly close to it. It's like what, a 3 hour drive? But this one is the Salem Hawthorne Hotel. And
Oh,
obviously it's
I
in
love it.
Salem, Massachusetts, and it's very historic. It is infamous in the town of Salem. Guest report, flickering lights, unexplained water running in bathrooms, apparitions believed to be linked to the 1692 witch trials. It is also said that George Washington, while passing through, had stayed the night there, didn't make it through the whole night because there was ghostly things, paranormal things happening, and he left middle of the night and was like, anyways, peace. I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think what is rumored to be is he saw a ghostly apparition in a mirror or something and he just scared the bejesus out of him.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I also went to the Hawthorne Hotel when I went to Salem this past August, but I only was outside and took pictures. I was like, oh wait, Hawthorne Hotel, because we were just walking by
Yeah.
anyway. So I just took pictures of the
Yeah,
hotel.
that's
But
yeah, same. That was one of the ones that I was photographing, but I was never in it.
yeah. All right, my next one is dun 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 Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston, West
That's a
Virginia.
good one.
Ooh, I love it. It's in Weston, West Virginia, and it's one of the largest asylums in the U.S. And it is marked by both pioneering mental health treatment and then overcrowding, eventually closing in 1994. 1994? That's so soon. That's so recent.
Yeah.
Um, Construction began in 1858 following the Kirkbride plan designed for around 250 patients, but the Civil War delayed its completion until 1881. At its peak in the 1950s, it housed over 2,400 patients, leading to severe overcrowding before its closure. Today, the National Historic Landmark is open for tours focused on history and architecture, and
Wow.
it's really freaking cool. It's huge, and it says it's open to the public for historic, paranormal, and ghost tours, with proceeds going towards its restoration. That's pretty cool.
Mm. That is
Um,
pretty sick.
yeah, but it just looks really cool, and it's huge, and it's one of the biggest asylums I believe in the U.S. So,
Oh. Um,
which,
hmm.
which there aren't that many
Um,
asylums in the U.S. So, or
that, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
Like the number of them.
yeah. I know there's a lot, but there's not a lot. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, so there's not that many. About 1,288 mental hospital facilities and around 668 psychiatric hospitals as of 2020.
oh,
Um, but
well,
it
yeah,
doesn't
that's
say how
kind of
many
like
are
not a
closed though.
lot.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't used anymore. There's only one or two in Massachusetts that are used anymore. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like they're like not used very much, which is
Yeah.
crazy because I kind of need one. Um,
Hmm. All right. So the next, I can't decide between the other two. Maybe I'll just do an honorable mention.
okay.
So my seventh one, I think I'm gonna say the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and that is located in Kentucky. So for that one, a former tuberculosis hospital, and it's known for shadows, of course, figures, um, disembodied voices, and the infamous body shoot. And that's where many people claim to hear footsteps, and usually those footsteps are behind them. My brother lives in Kentucky, so maybe that'll give me a reason to go.
Yeah, you gotta take me though.
Yes, come with.
I'll go with you. I will brave it all and go with you. No problem. So, oh, I love Waverly Hills. That's a good one too. Um,
Mhm.
my next one is Penhurst Asylum, and that's a former state-run institution in Spring City, Pennsylvania, that is now both a historical site known for its past abuse and neglect and a popular destination for dark tourism and haunted house attractions. Opened in 1908, it was shut down in 1987 after being exposed in 1968 for deplorable and overcrowded conditions, and a 2016 lawsuit led to the relocation of its residents.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I feel like
That's
that one's
crazy.
kind of close to us too. Like, I feel like we could do that. And what the drive would be like 6 hours, if that.
Yeah, probably. It's
Oh,
eastern Pennsylvania, so yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's crazy. It closed in 1987. That's after a lawsuit. Hold on. Lawsuit brought by
Mm.
residents' families exposed the inhumane conditions, including overcrowding, understaffing, and abuse. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about some of the abuse. It's horrible.
Yeah.
The
Kind of
institutions.
brings us
Oh,
into like another thing that I wanted to talk about. Big
oh
finish
yeah,
up.
okay. Um, the institution's history of abuse included incidents like a doctor who admitted to torturing patients. That's
Ooh.
crazy.
Oh, that kind of sounds like Poveglia.
Yeah, it does. Which
Wow.
is on my list.
Yeah, there's so many places that I wanted to go to.
Mhm.
Poveglia would be one of them, obviously. Um,
Mhm.
but it's so hard to put them like all on the list. Um,
I know.
my eighth one is the Stanley Hotel, and that's in Colorado.
I don't know
So
how
many
that
people
didn't make my
know.
list. I don't know how it didn't make
Um,
my list because I'm like the biggest Stephen King fan. So I don't know how I missed the
yes,
Stanley Hotel. That
I
should be
was
on
just
my
gonna
list.
say most people know it from the Stephen King movie, The Shining. So lots of people and or guests will report ghostly children or even the staff. Ghostly children laughing in hallways, running, phantom piano music, doors that will open on their own, close on their own. All of the crazy things like apparitions in windows if you're looking from like the outside, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stephen King. Oh, I'm not. I won't get into it. But Stephen King stayed there, and that was the inspiration for The Shining. And The Shining was one of the first books I ever read completely from beginning to end. Um,
So
and
good.
then since then, I've just been a huge fan of his work, and it's so I don't know how the Stanley Hotel didn't come to mind when I was making this list, but I guess I'm a fake fan. I don't know, but um, sorry. So the next one on my list was actually the Conjuring House and the Warring Museum.
Ooh,
But since we
yes.
already
I wanted to
talked
talk
about
about
that,
those. Yes,
we
but that doesn't mean we
we
can't
already
want to like go there, you know what I mean? I
No, I know,
absolutely
but
want to go there.
I absolutely want to go there too. But we already talked about it in a different episode, so I'm not gonna go into details about it. I just want to say
Mhm.
that the fact that we a couple weeks ago just drove by the Conjuring house, and it was
I
like
know.
really cool just being in that area. I was like
Yes.
that was just really cool. So I would love to actually have permission to go there and maybe
Yeah.
do a tour or something like that. And so I figured I would just mention that, and then the War Museum
Well,
obviously to go with it. But so I just figured I'd
fun
mention it. But
fact, when we were driving back from the Conjuring house, some weird shit happened. I couldn't even tell you. We got rerouted 2 or 3 times, which was really odd because my GPS never fucks up. And we got
yeah,
rerouted 2 or 3 times, almost got sidechecked by a couple cars
hmm,
and my bumper clipped or something like that almost a couple of times. And then we would hit traffic out of nowhere, which was
yeah,
weird because the time of day that it was, we shouldn't have hit traffic at all.
yeah.
Um, and this like off season, what the fuck is going on?
I don't
I
know.
was like, that was the most difficult drive of my fucking life.
Yeah, I was like that GPS when she says the GPS was messing up, it was telling us to go and take this exit that was literally the next exit down or something like that, and it said
Yeah,
the wrong exit. It was like take
yeah,
12A, and it was like 4A was the next exit, but it was like but you take that exit. And I'm like, but that's not
yeah,
12A, that's 4A. And then it was like
literally.
go south and instead of north. So then we're like, wait, that but this exit says north, not what is this? And literally it was like the most confusing I've ever seen a GPS actually
Yes.
be. It was
You know what I
insane.
just thought about? Because the way it was acting, it was almost rerouting us backwards, back toward the house.
That's what I thought. I actually
Yeah.
thought that. I was like, oh my God. I feel like it just wants to go back to the house, but I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Uh-huh.
that out loud.
Yeah.
But
I was like,
it was
man, I
pretty
got
cool.
my dog in the car with me. We cannot do
Yeah, we can't do this tonight. Sorry.
this.
Oh my God. I'm glad we both thought the
um,
same thing though.
yeah, dude, that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
So the next two of mine I've already been to. One was when I was younger, and then the other one was more recently, but I would like to do more exploring. So the first one I'm going to mention, I went to the Old Washoe Club, and that's located in Nevada. Um,
That's on my list.
yes. So the Old Washoe Club was so fucking cool, by the way.
Hmm.
So it is located in Virginia City in Nevada, and it sits like right on top of this huge mining like catac- I'm gonna call it a catacomb, but anyways, it's this huge mining area. It was all built during the Comstock and all of that fun stuff.
Hmm.
So it was really booming during the 1800s, early, mid, and then kind of died out near the late 1800s. A lot of people know that, or a lot of people know it for the bodies in one of the sides. They call it the morgue.
The
I think
morgue.
that's what they call it. Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I was
Um,
thinking. I don't think.
yeah. So in the Washoe Club, a lot of people know the morgue area or whatever. Basically, it's this very narrow room, like built into the side of the fucking hill that it sits in. And basically, on the outside of the building, you could walk up the driveway, walk up the hill directly to the back of it, and you can look down into it. And what people would do, because so many people were dying of either illness or like um, mishaps in the mining tunnels or the mine shafts or whatever, they would put the bodies in there and just kind of drop them down. They would put them in burlap sacks or whatnot, um, kind of like the whole catacomb situation where they're just dead bodies being stacked on top of each other. People don't know who these people are, and they're just kind of getting thrown in because they couldn't be buried, um, because the rate they were all getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but oh man, that place was so fucking cool. I got goosebumps when I walked in through like the door. It was with my grandpa, and I kid you not, literally, like we went through the whole tour of the old Washoe Club. We get to the morgue at the very end, so like we started and ended in the morgue, and we get into the morgue in the last bit, and I'm standing up near the tour guide, and that's kind of more the head of the morgue and like
Mm-hmm.
farther away from the door. And there was like this little metal chair or something you would see in school for band class. Anyways, is sitting in the corner nearest to the door. And I'm looking at my grandpa who's like videoing me. And I don't know if he got it on video. I'd have to look back at all the things that he sent me or maybe just text him. But anyways, I kid you not, this chair scooches across the floor in between like the group that I was with, and it almost touches my grandpa. And so he looks down and he's all, "Holy!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I can't believe that happened." And the tour guide's like, "Oh wow, I'm surprised something even happened on this tour because the spirits have been dormant for a few months." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
"It's because I'm here."
You brought the spooky.
Yeah, I did.
Um. Oh man. So Washoe Club was actually on my list too. It
Yes.
was my number three. So, um,
Yes. Why do you want
um,
to visit it?
I want to visit it mostly because I saw it on Ghost Adventures, uh,
Oh yeah.
and it was really cool. I was trying to think of when I was watching it. They mentioned, so I know like the area you were talking about that they put the bodies, but I was like trying to think because I swear that it had a different name, and
Mm.
I don't remember, but
Yeah,
um,
I'm not sure what other name it would be under, but it's literally like you go through the front doors and
mhm,
you walk straight back. And there's
yeah,
another set of doors that you go through, almost like a hallway, and the staircase is on the right. You keep walking forward. It's literally just in a straight dead ass line all the way down to the end of the hallway.
yeah, okay. I'm just trying to think of it, that's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to Google it later.
I know. Me too. Oh,
um, um, yeah. So it just says Virginia City, Nevada was originally a multi-purpose building that was rebuilt after the 1875 Great Fire and became an exclusive social club for the wealthy elite.
mhm.
Notable members included Ulysses S. Grant and Thomas Edison, and it featured lavish amenities like billiard rooms and a library. The club closed in 1897 due to the decline of mining, but the historic building has since become known as a haunted location and continues to be a tourist attraction.
So
Um,
cool.
yeah, that's awesome. But that's crazy that it survived the fire.
Yeah,
So fire in 1875, that's crazy. Which it says destroyed most of Virginia City. So the fact that the Washoe Club was still standing is crazy.
I know. So my grandpa is a big talker, and he's a big history buff too. So literally, I felt like I had my own personal tour guide all through Virginia City.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he was teaching me, telling me about all of the different buildings and the mining shafts down below themselves, and how a school up there almost completely fell in. The whole parking lot basically just fell into the mine shaft.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
oh, that's a little scary.
Yeah, just a little
Because the
bit.
whole, dude, literally the whole town is built on top of basically a hollow foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a like they were having issues with that in Paris too, I believe, when they because
Mm-hmm.
they mined too close to the surface of the roads or whatever. So, like I guess
Yeah.
they built on top of it, and then they were having
Whoops.
structure issues. So one of mine, this is actually number 2 on the list, Goldfield Hotel,
Yeah.
which is also, I believe, in Virginia City, or Goldfield, technically, Nevada, but it's close to Virginia
Yeah,
City, I believe.
Goldfield.
Yeah.
Those
Um,
big.
so it's a U-shaped brick building in Goldfield, Nevada, known for its luxury amenities in the early 1900s and its current status as a famously haunted and abandoned property. Though currently closed to the public during ongoing restoration, it is a contributing property to the Goldfield Historic District on the National Register of Historic Places and has a reputation for paranormal activity. It opened in 1908 as a lavish hotel during the town's boom. It was a popular destination with 154 rooms, including a restaurant, bar, and ballroom. The 4-story classic revival style building was designed by architects Morrell J. Curtis and George E. Holsworth. The hotel is widely considered one of the most haunted locations in America, with many paranormal claims and legends, such as the story of Elizabeth, who's said to have died in room 109.
Spooky.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be such a cool thing to go see is that hotel. I mean, oh my God, there's just so much history behind it.
I know. It's like that's been on my list for years too. But and I almost went. So I can't say I almost went, but a few years ago when I went to Vegas with a couple of my friends, I was like, "Oh, hey, do you guys want to go to?" Because we were renting a car to go to the Grand Canyon, and
Hmm.
I was like, "Hey, since we're going to be driving around anyways, going to the Grand Canyon, I know it's the opposite direction, but do you guys want to go
Hmm.
up to Goldfield and go to the Goldfield Hotel?" And when we looked it up, it was like an 8-hour drive or something like that, and they were like, "No, all of them, no," and I was like, "But I want to go to the Goldfield Hotel." And they were like, "No, we're not staying in a car that long to go to a hotel that we can't even stay at." And I was like, "No, but like, it's a cool mining town. Things, what, you guys don't want to go?" And they were like, "No, we don't want to go." And I was like, "But, uh, but I'll never get to do this again." And they were like,
Yeah.
"Tough shit. Go when you go to California." And I was like, "But I don't know when I'm going to California." Because at the time I was like, I wanted to go to California to go do a bunch of stuff or whatever in California. And they were like, just go when you go to California. And I was like, oh, fine. And then I tried to convince them to go to Area 51 as well. And they were like,
Hmm.
no, Jen, we're not going somewhere hours away to drive that we can't even go to. You can't go to Area 51. And I was like, that's not the point. The point is to go to these touristy little things that have aliens all over the place and take pictures. Yes, it'd be awesome to go to Area 51 and actually go there, but you can't go there. So I know I'm not stupid, but I was like, it'd just be awesome to be like, hey, I went to Area 51 or, that
Yeah.
area.
No,
Yeah,
that would
I
absolutely be
was
so
like,
cool. I don't think I've been to the Area 51 site. I don't even think I was that close. Where is it? Like New Mexico around?
no, is it Nevada?
I don't know.
Give
I
me a
don't
second. I
remember.
think it's, I can't remember. Southern Nevada. Um,
No.
120 miles northwest of Vegas and is not accessible to the public. Rude.
Oh.
Um,
I know they say they'll shoot people on site, right?
yeah, if you cross the gate, they'll shoot you, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've
Yeah.
seen pictures and videos of people at the gate, but never crossed it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's so
Do you remember?
cool. I
Do
remember.
you remember when a bunch of YouTubers were gonna storm Area 51
Oh
a
my
few years
God.
ago?
Yes. That was so stupid.
It was stupid.
Oh. um, Okay. So my last one, again, I've already been to it. I was there when I was 9, so I don't remember too insanely much from it, but I do remember enough from my visit. I would really like to go again and perform an actual investigation. It would be the Bullock Hotel, and that is in South Dakota in Deadwood.
I
Yes,
never heard of it.
yeah. What? Oh my God. So
How have I heard of
there's
it?
so many things because so it was this big old west town, um, kind of Bonnie
I
and Clyde
I
or
do,
kind of
yeah.
things. Yeah.
I do know
um,
Deadwood. I just didn't know the hotel. So,
yeah,
I do know, I have heard of Deadwood or whatever, but
yeah. So it was very, you know, standoff, shoot 'em up kind of things.
mm-hmm.
Um, Calamity Jane and Wild Bill Hickok are also buried there at the cemetery over on Deadwood Hill. So I got to see their graves, and I also got to see Seth Bullock's graves. Seth Bullock is one of the sheriffs there in that town, or was rather.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up dying of colon cancer in his home, and but it is said that he does roam and haunts the Bullock Hotel, and his room I think is 10 102 or 120 or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, our room was right next to it. It was maybe one door down, and he was maybe cornered with ours.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty cool to be there, and we do have pictures. After we kind of were talking about Seth Bullock, and we're like trying to get him in the photo. And there are orbs in the photos that we had asked him to be in, so that's kind of crazy.
That is kind of cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
heard of that one before. I do know,
dude, it's
like,
so cool.
I think I only know Deadwood because of the show that was on, like, HBO or something years ago.
Oh my God. So funny tidbit about that. I've never seen the Deadwood show
Mm-hmm.
ever. And my mom had it playing. This was, God, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago now, maybe longer. I don't know. Anyways, she was playing it in the other room, and I was getting ready for bed or something. And all I kept hearing was, um, oh, what they said every second, I swear to God, every second, in every frame, in every scene. And I remember poking my head out of the bathroom after brushing my teeth, and I was like, whoa. I was like, are they okay? I was like, keep saying cock.
Yeah.
What's
You're like,
going on?
damn. Oh my god. What was it? There was something I watched one time, and the same thing. It was literally a certain swear word or something like that. They said 5 billion times within like a minute, and I was like, "What is
Yeah.
going on?" Yeah, I don't know. I think I just don't like this word anymore because it's overused now. But
Yeah.
it was
I
terrible.
was like, oh my damn.
That's so funny though.
It was the most
Um,
insane thing I've ever heard.
oh my
I was
god.
like, how many times can you use cocksucker in a sentence?
At least 500 billion. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so that's one I didn't even know about. That's cool. Um, so the last one on my list is Pavalia. So I know we mentioned it earlier, but Pavalia is a small island in the Venetian lagoon that is known for its dark history and a haunted reputation. It was used as a quarantine station for plague victims, a place of exile, and later housed as a mental asylum where cruel experiments were rumored to have taken place. Today, the island is abandoned and considered by many to be one of the most haunted places in the world, though access is restricted. During the plague outbreaks in the 14th and 17th centuries, Pavalia was used as a quarantine and burial ground, with thousands of victims sent to die there. Legends estimate that over 100,000 people are buried on the island.
Dang.
and the soil is said to be composed of ash from burnt bodies. In 1922, a mental hospital was built on the island, leading to its reputation as a madhouse. Rumors of cruel experiments and a sadistic doctor who performed lobotomies led to further legends of the island being haunted by tormented souls of its patients. Um, the hospital closed in 1968, and the island has been abandoned ever since. It is considered one of the most haunted places on Earth and is off limits to visitors unless you get specific permission, Sam and Colby. Sorry. Sorry, I had to say
So
that.
good.
Uh, um, yeah, and it's basically it got alarms and stuff all over the place that they um, keep track of everything.
Hmm.
Like if anyone goes on there at certain times, there's alarms that go off and there's cameras and stuff. So yeah, pretty fun. Um, yeah, so I think that's it. It says it's not open to the public, but some groups have proposed plans for future restoration that would include a public park, a restaurant, and a hostel.
Hmm.
Wow. So they're
Interesting.
attempting, there's like restoration attempts, and um, somebody wants to buy it to put in a luxury hotel. Oh, that.
Yeah, no. No.
Don't do don't do that, honey. No. No. Um
Then it
oh
would
good,
just
the deal didn't
ruin it.
it says the deal didn't go through. Good, good, good. Sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
thank
finish
God.
reading it. I was like, wait, no. Yeah, it says
Because
it
that
didn't
would
go
just like
through, so
ruin the
thank God.
whole thing.
It would. Um yeah. I have just honorable mentions that we can no longer visit because they are not open to public at all or they've been
Mhm.
destroyed. Bobby Mackey's Music World,
Oh
which
God,
it was
yeah.
in
I totally
Wilder,
forgot about that
Kentucky.
one.
I would have given anything to go there, and I'm so sad that it's gone now. They completely demolished
Mhm.
it, and apparently parts of it are at Zach Bagans Museum in Vegas. So when we go to
Oh,
Goldfield, we'll have to go to Vegas and go to his hotel and see
yes.
it.
Yes.
um, and then speaking of Zach Bagans, the Demon House, which was in Indiana, that he
Oh
demolished. He bought
yeah.
it. He bought it, demolished it, and then he has like parts of that in his museum as well.
Wow.
Um, Amityville Horror House, which is a private residential area now, so you
Mhm.
can't go investigate it. But I still, even though a lot of people think it's a hoax, I still would like to just go see it because of how much I love the movies and stuff. So,
I was gonna say
um,
I love that movie. I literally, I'm
yeah.
not even kidding you. I have it in my box of my DVDs and stuff. Um,
Hmm.
I freaking love that one. I was always
Yeah.
so intrigued but scared of it as a kid.
Yeah.
And like that eerie song
Yeah.
or tune. I was like, what?
Yeah. That one's a good one. And but I've always wanted to go there, um and then I guess I didn't write this down, but I just thought of it because I also love the movies and the books too. The Sleepy Hollow
Oh
in New
yeah.
York, so I want to go there as well. But I don't know if that's technically more just creepy vibes because of the legends, and
Hmm.
like it was made popular because of the books and the movies or whatever. But I don't. I'd have to look into what actually like happened there, but I think it was just a place that was based on, you know, a book based it on that and made it popular. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I'd have to look into that more. But and I'd love to go back to Lizzie Borden House, and we have to do that soon. So maybe we can do that
Yes,
in like
absolutely.
January. Yeah, like January,
Yeah,
because
we
like
gotta plan
I know,
something.
yeah, I know I'll have a little bit more time, not really more money, but I'll have more time
Well, all
in
you need is
January.
more
So
time, honestly.
yeah, yeah. Um, and hopefully my schedule can be rearranged so it's not as annoying. and then and then hopefully I don't want to get into it. Actually, never mind. Hopefully some things just change and it's for the better, you know?
Yeah, I got
And then
you.
I don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, so those are my picks and your picks, and I'm surprised that we had one, two, three, four the same. I want to say Paris Catacombs. Did you have Pavelia too, or
I kind of like mentioned that I wanted to go to Pavigula, but it wasn't on my list.
okay? And then Washoe Club and Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for listening to our episode 8 of Lily and Jen's Spooky Den, or the Spooky Jen with Lily and Jen, whichever you prefer to say. We're not picky. Um, but we appreciate you listening, and we love talking about our haunted favorite places and and experiences and stuff. So if you want to hear more about that, leave a comment. Let us know. If you don't want to hear more about that, I was gonna say bug off, but
We
but
can't
no,
say
leave a comment.
that.
No. If you don't want to hear more about that, then it's fine. Leave a comment. If you think we're crazy, leave a comment. If whatever you want to do, just leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. All the stuff. If you like us, why not? And then you get those notifications turned on. You can be the first to know when a new episode comes out, and yeah, hang out in the comments and have fun. We appreciate everybody
Yeah.
listening. We appreciate
And we'll
everybody
see you
listening,
guys
and
next
I,
time.
yeah, next time, and I swear I will work on the video. Okay, swear it. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we appreciate you. And Thanksgiving was just the other day, so yeah, thank you. I'm grateful for everybody who's listening, who is gonna listen, our future listeners. Um,
Mm.
yeah, thankful that we started this thing because I love talking about this stuff, and thankful for Lily. I am thankful for Lily.
Thankful. And I'm thankful for Jen. And I'm thankful for the podcast.
Oh,
And
yes.
literally so many things. I could go on.
Exactly. I could go on and on and on about what I'm thankful for, but anyways, um, yeah, thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.